this podcast, I am having as a guest Simon Friedman from AvaTrade. Simon is a trading specialist and senior account manager, and also he is doing the weekly and the daily news feed at AvaTrade for their internal team. Hi, Simon. How are you today?
Hi, Blago. How are you doing?
I'm very good. Thank you very much. So, can you tell me a little bit at what you do at AvaTrade?
Sure, of course. I'm passionate about trading in general. I've been doing it for many years. I started as a prop trader in the year 2000, and I'm happy that I have a great environment so I can apply my skills and my excitement about the market. So what I do at AvaTrade, I'm a senior account manager, so I work with my customers in my portfolio, trying to assist them with their needs. Also, I do, as you mentioned, I do daily market reviews for my team, and together with my colleagues, we are doing a few weekly webinars that are being posted, live webinars also that are being posted to YouTube for our customers to review. And that's pretty much what I do.
Right. Thank you. Thank you very much for your answer. It's very good to have you on this podcast because recently you have, as AvaTrade, you've launched options trading platform and futures trading platform. So,
Correct.
how is it going? What's make these two platforms different from the competition, and what is it that you can tell us that you can bring an edge to the trader when trading with AvaTrade on these platforms?
Actually, yesterday at the meeting, or not the official meeting, but I met with the person who actually created our options, and I asked him about his background, his experience. He was a very experienced trader in New York City, and then he created our options for our trade, and people are welcome to use them. Basically, you can trade options. Currently, they're available for forex, gold, and silver, and on the same platform you can actually trade the spot instruments like forex indices, and it's a really amazing platform. I don't need to advertise it. It's really good. I've had customers coming to us from professional trading, and they're really amazed by the platform. So that's as far as the options. And something that we're working on, and it's already launching, it's our futures, where customers can actually come and trade real futures, not the CFDs. And it's a huge spectrum of instruments there. Whatever you
I have,
trade on.
yeah, I had an access to it. I've registered myself on the futures platform, and although it's based on the MT5
Correct.
platform, you've done an amazing job with the design. Let's say made it a little bit more modern on the eye, and of course the features that are available. It's on another level, I think. I haven't traded, to be honest, but I went through, all the information and all the instruments available there. It's amazing. I am yet to see and register with the options platform. I know from your colleagues that this is a vanilla options platform only, with
Correct.
anything else
Correct.
available. But I know there you can trade options on commodities as well.
I'm not sure. I don't think it's available on commodities. You can
Yeah.
trade spot on commodities, but the options currently we are working on it, and we I think it's available for the option trading so far as the forex and gold and silver, and also the options we actually involved options, kind of a background on the options we involved in the instrument that's also very unique to AvaTrade, which is AvaProtect. I don't know if you heard of that aspect of service that we offer to the customers. So basically, a customer that's trading with us, the same thing, forex, gold, and silver, actually able to purchase protection with on the backgrounds covered by the options. That's why we able to do it in the real. Actual way, in the legal way, that you can purchase protection for the certain amount of time, and some of the traders really like that option because they know that within that time frame they are protected. No matter what the loss is, they'll be reimbursed for the premium that they pay upfront. So that's
That's
connected with the
that's
options.
an option that I think you're the only one that you're offering on the market.
I think I think so. I think
Yes.
so.
And also thinking myself forward and connecting it to the hedging course that we are offering, I think that people who are involved into trading with, or the businesses that are using raw materials and who want to hedge their positions within the raw materials market can gain a lot of usage from what you're
From the
offering.
futures, from the
Yes,
futures trading,
that,
correct.
and I meant not gain profit in the way of we are applying that it will be profit because past results do not indicate
That's
future
for sure.
future. Not, yes,
Especially nowadays. Yeah, that's
and
for
we
sure.
need to mention that trading is a highly risky business, and people can lose their money and maybe lose even more that they can afford. So just to make it clear for our audience, not to get into it too fast because there is no overnight success into this business, and it
That is correct.
could be
Yeah,
years
that
and
is
years down
correct.
the line because we know it. We are traders and investors, and we know it. There is no overnight success. Maybe today it will be a good position, and tomorrow and the next 5 days you'll have losing positions all the time. So, yeah, people and customers, please be aware that the risk is very high when you're trading on the stock exchange. So, clearing this part and moving forward, you have mentioned Forex. And the topic for today, I wanted to move a little bit closer to it and talk a little bit more. It is the Japanese yen and its recent downfall against all currencies. What do you think, Simon? What's the background of this fall, and what do you think the Japanese government can do in order to stabilize the yen against the other currencies? And
Great question.
having in mind government bonds, maybe QE or something else. What do you think?
Well, first of all, I need to disclose I'm sitting in. I'm actually trading futures on Japanese yen, direct futures, and I've been sitting in losses. And it's another time. And like you said beautifully, you have to manage your risks. And sometimes, even after 24 years, sometimes I really neglect that aspect of trading. So I've been sitting in yen, and let's a lot of things that I have to share. First of all, I think yen currently it's kind of a disappointment for traders, and I'll tell you why. We've been waiting for Bank of Japan for that action as we were sitting in the negative interest rate for many years. I think when was it? A month ago or so, when they finally brought it to 0%. We've been sitting at minus 0.1, and they haven't increased any interest for 17 years, as far as I know. So that was the first move, and everybody was expecting, okay, they made that move, so maybe they will continue moving forward because the expensive yen, it's not, on one side, it's really amazing for Japan because it's a country that exports a lot of goods around the world. So
Exactly.
cheap yen makes it better for the bottom line of the companies. But at the same time, they have no resources. They buy everything outside and they pay in dollars. So the question is, what's gonna give? And I think they're really choking in the high prices for commodities. And what can be done? Myself included, and tons of traders are there. We're really hoping that the Bank of Japan really will do something. They are very famous about the interventions moves that they do here and there.
Maybe even
So
more
they
than the
try.
Swiss, even more than the Swiss.
Swiss, yeah, we're talking about the 2015. It wasn't an intervention. It was it was they just unpacked from Euro. I remember that day, January 15, 2015. Yes,
Exactly.
but interventions, yeah, interventions from Bank of Japan. Most of the time they're really short-lived. They inject the funds, and they had this spike in the yen to the upside, and it's not really helping. So I hope they will do something, but a few meetings that I don't remember his name. Kuroda was for many years before him, the governor of Bank of Japan. As far as I understood, they're kind of comfortable with the current level. So I'm not sure if they're looking to do something, but that's crucial. And also, as a trader, what I realize it's a very strong correlation in general. If you measure, you mentioned something about treasuries. So yen is moving kind of parallel with the U.S. T-bonds, and it goes
I wanted to
against.
ask you, I wanted to ask
Mhm.
you, Dave, what do you think about the dependencies of with the US dollar, and what do you think, how much does it hold Japan in its foreign currency reserves against the US dollar, and maybe the let's say the ever famous Australian Japan yen dollar, pair, and how that correlates to what the let's say the Feds will do and the Bank of Australia will do, and also adding there the Euro-Japanian pair, which, of course, for myself, that was a big part of my trading in few back in the 10 years ago. It was a huge, big part of my trading portfolio, which then I moved on. But now somehow it's coming back. And what do you think how these three pairs will correlate to what the let's say central banks or the Fed will do in order to, let's say, stabilize the market, but also make it even more interesting for traders and investors?
Well, before going into those currencies, the 10-year yields, if you look at them, they're really affecting the dollar. As they're going higher, dollar's going higher, and the yen is going down together with the, as I mentioned, with the T-bonds. So definitely, if we hear from the Feds that the rate cuts are coming, we might see the move, of course, in the dollar to the downside. There's some speculations that we might see some rate cuts closer to elections, maybe September, November. Some other analysts are predicting maybe December we have a cut. So things are changing, and as Powell always says, it's all data dependent. So I think the three major things that the Feds are looking for is the state of the economy, and then the employment and the inflation. So we have NFPs coming now. We have also, I think Powell speaks today, but great thing you ask about correlation. I personally sometimes I get confused. Take a look. We had two cuts from the Swiss National Bank, right?
Mhm.
And take a look at the pair. The Swiss yen has been flying. Dollar yen has been at the level of 1986.
Yes.
So it's really, yes, if you take dollar yen, it's a strength of a dollar one side, but across the board, yen's been super, super weak against the Australian dollar that you mentioned, against New Zealand dollar and all others. So I think uh, the the move of Bank of Japan is really crucial at this point. And like I said in the beginning of this discussion, that the reason it's selling because I think the traders are getting disappointed and they're bailing out the bailing out of yen. And as I learned through the years, when market turns around, when you can't take pain anymore, when the traders are really fleeing and running out the market. So I think it could be my wishful thinking, of course, but through the experience, it happens a lot when people are just giving up, or I'm fed up with this yen, I'm getting out, and then we might see some actions or some other reasons for the pair to get strength and against the other currencies, not just against the dollar, of course.
Yes, exactly. You know what I was thinking is that do you think that Japan, and you've mentioned that it also just lets the yen slide even more in order to be able to be more competitive, because they are competitive on the global market with their exports. But do we think that there is a bottom of where after certain price against the currencies, let's say US dollar and euro and the Australian dollar, where then the yen will do more harm than good on the Japanese economy, because we have that with the let's say Turkish lira,
Yeah,
with the huge inflation,
of
it's
course. Yes,
and it's doing more harm than good to the Turkish economy.
that's
So if
correct.
it's something that it will turn into, or maybe the Japanese government, and it is, I think it's Governor Ueda now, that it is governor of the Bank of Japan.
He's pretty old. I saw his last press conference. He's
So maybe there is a
I
delay
mean
on
the
their
magic
part,
number. I know what you're
or
saying.
maybe, yeah, or maybe they're just stuck into too many difficult decisions that they need to do, and they're prolonging it, and at the end they have reacted too late, and maybe they cannot come back.
I really don't know, but I think last week, towards the end of the week, I was driving to work, and sometimes I listen to Bloomberg on the way, and they actually mentioned the 160. It's kind of a key level, and they said that the moment we get close to 160, Bank of Japan will try to do intervention. And then actually came to my office and I share with my team. I do in the middle of the day, I do market reviews. And I said, today we're going to have intervention because we're heading that 160. And an hour later, there was actually a small intervention. But the thing is that every time they do intervention, there's a spike in yen, and a significant spike. I think there was like 100 pips spike. I think it was Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, Thursday or Friday. And then we're going lower after that. So each spike followed by the continuation, the weakness. So you're absolutely right. They could be doing it intentionally, but I don't think so, because it's hurting them on the import side. They're buying a lot of things, and it costs them a lot of money, and the inflation is growing. So I guess we'll find out soon. We can speculate and think and be logical, but another thing it's important to understand. I think at least since 2008, market is not logical anymore in any aspects. You take equities, you take currencies, everything is upside down in a way. Like since 2008, since the QE, now we're having the opposite effect, right? The tightening policy is trying to come in, but since then, market's been upside down. Bad news is good
Yes,
because the Feds are not raising the rates and so on. Sometimes it's confusing. Uh, Sometimes you have a bunch of news that's really good. The market is being positive about it. So, like I said, we can speculate, and the beautiful and also an upsetting part of the market that we can't really calculate and rely on anything because uh, you never know.
yeah, definitely it is a mixed bag. And also, even after 2000, by 2012, there was some type of repeating on the markets, and a flow that, for instance, you will have 200 pips of movement into currency pairs and indices and something like that. And since then, it came down to 50 pips or 25 pips of movement in some certain pairs. Even the Euro USD, which was at a day,
Right,
2010, in a
right,
day, it
exactly.
could go 230 pips without no problem, and you can basically trade on it. And now we have this. Actually, I'm viewing at the moment a daily chart of the USD Japan yen, and I see at the moment it sits around 161.65 or something like that.
Right. There was the move. The last half an hour we had this move about 50 pips, correct.
Yes, and then we have the MACD full bullish on the daily, and then we have RSI and stochastic. They're both shooting above their upper levels, which indicates that this is
Overbought. Yeah,
overbought
correct.
situation for the USD Japan yen, but also probably it's for the other pairs as well. So maybe with some more aggressive intervention from Bank of Japan, we may see a downward, actually upward movement for the Japan yen
For the
and
yeah.
for
right.
the US dollar and the other currencies. But of course, that's only if we see a stronger reaction from the Bank of Japan. Otherwise, I think this will proceed. And you know, the when in 2011, when the earthquake and the tsunami hit Japan,
Right.
it was a huge riot on the market with the Japanese yen. And since then, I have not seen such a movement with the Japanese yen. But now it's different because it's consistent. It's consistent in the fall. Back then it was different because many people were closing and opening positions, take profit. They were minimizing their losses. But now it's just
I remember that, and also there was a huge run on dollar yen in 14, 15 when a lot of traders were shorting it, and things just went from 70 to 130. I remember that a lot of traders got killed there.
yes,
Yes, but at the same time, you've been in trading for a while. Sometimes uh, the moves happen overnight, and you could have a huge drop as well in dollar yen or the strength of yen on the other side, and that's what I call the beauty of the market. You don't really know, and also, I mean, you can see. I like to see diversions, and if you take the momentum indicator and you apply it against all the yen pairs, it's really a diversion. We're making new prices, but momentum is not making new highs. So I also like to spot those things, and that shows that at some point when things turn around, we might see a sell-off as well. But we'll see. We'll see how
definitely.
it goes.
Definitely. I have a few more questions before we
Sure.
wrap this up. And one question is, what are your stance on cryptocurrencies? And do you think that a digital or a cryptocurrency can help Japan, uh, mitigate the problems they have with the inflation as it is now? Or, maybe we are going deeper into the population in Japan and how it is divided, and how big the percentage of people who are under pension is, and it's ever aging population in Japan. And do you think that that has also an impact on how the currencies will move? And also, what do you think, of course, if a cryptocurrency can save Japan and maybe other countries as well from something?
I tell you the truth. I'm a very old trader, if you would say. So I like to reply again. I have nothing against cryptocurrency. It's really an exciting world, and but cryptocurrency is very controversial. I mean, if you bought it a while ago, you're a happy camper. But then if you bought it a few years back when it hit 65, and then you had to take it down to 15,000, and so on. I mean, it's a lot of excitement. Kathy Woods she's very excited about cryptocurrency. She's loaded in her fund, right? As far as Japan, I think Japan as a country and the monetary and any kind of policies, they've really old school. So I'm not sure they're rushing into something that's so controversial. I mean, take a look at the U.S. They don't really know how to control it, right? They have difficulties. They did approve some EAs, and then recently they said the EAs they cannot be used as a collateral for financial instruments. So I don't know, and I don't see how in the current situation cryptocurrency physically can save Japan or anybody. If you take a majority of people that do trade it, they use it as a highly speculative instrument. I speak to a lot of people. There are a lot of day traders in this field as well, but a lot of people are taking it as a gamble as well for a midterm or long term. They say, okay, I'm going to put certain amount of money in cryptocurrency. Either I'm going to become a millionaire or I'm okay with losing it as well. So
I am
and
also hearing your view. Myself, I do not trade in cryptocurrencies as well. Just keeping the conversation. Maybe it is the future, but this future is not now.
I mean, it could be. There's a great. I speak with people that understand the blockchain. The concept is really, really amazing. A lot of people say that it's really great and it's going to change and make things much better. But the way it's being traded, I mean, there was a meeting for the shareholders with Warren Buffett, and I was watching the meeting, and he actually said if somebody offered him the whole cryptocurrency of the world for $25, he wouldn't buy it because he wouldn't know what to do with it.
Yes.
So again, nothing against a great instrument to trade, a lot of volatility, a lot of trading opportunities for people. They like to trade it. But I personally, like you said, like you yourself, I'm not. I think I made one trade just to say I traded cryptocurrency in Bitcoin. But for me, I need to understand what's happening. Even if I do think that I understand, there's no guarantee. But something that is, can make you or break you, has short history, has controversial things with companies shutting down. Take FTX. With the CEO going to jail and other things, so it's not clear. Let's put it that way.
Clear, definitely. Um, this was my last question, Simon. It was very nice having you at this podcast. I hope we will do a few others in the future. We
My
will
pleasure.
have a lot of topics to talk about regarding the markets, and it will a pleasure to having you again. For now, thank you very much for joining me here. And I would say to our viewers, thank you for viewing this podcast. Please share, comment, and likes on our social media. And we'll be back soon with another episode with another exciting topic to talk about. I wish you
Thank
all,
you for having me.
Simon, have a great day. Have a great
Take
day,
care.
everyone. Talk again.